Alrighty guys, this is Andrew, and today, well, I was gonna script this video, but I couldn't get it together, so hopefully it doesn't come out to be too rambled. But anyways, I want to talk about the two Shimada brothers. Well, I guess there's only two, but Genji and Hanzo, where are they at now? Because there's a lot of changes going on in the PTR. Genji got quadruple nerfed and Hanzo got buffed quite considerably. And honestly, I mean, this is like really freaking controversial. If you go onto the subreddit, if you go on the forums, you're gonna see people at each other's throats talking about whether or not these changes were appropriate, if they're too much, if they're too little. Like, it's all over the place, man. It's really controversial, and I honestly can't imagine how difficult it must be for Blizzard to like kind of sift through all this, because on one hand you have the player base complaining, right, or at least a subsection of the player base complaining, or at least voicing their opinions, and then you have your stats, like all your back-end stuff, your numbers and stuff, and then you have your own vision as Blizzard of what your game should be like. So to add to the mess, I guess I'll sort of talk about my own opinions, and please keep in mind that these are opinions on what is going on in PTR right now. So let's start with the easy one. Hanzo, he got a buff. He basically shoots his arrows. His arrows travel 30% faster, and he can move 10% faster when he's aiming. In my opinion, this is a much needed buff on Hanzo. Now, I know a few of you out there probably think Hanzo's OP, but the reason why, you know, I think he deserves the buff is because if you take a look at the numbers, as far as pick rate in professional games, he is one of those heroes that has always had really low pick rates. Even in just like competitive, like my ranking peaked at 61, I think, so it's not super high. Even in that setting, like most people opted not to pick Hanzo. So I feel like he definitely deserves this buff, just because like the amount of skill required to get good with him, to get efficient with him, is so much. Like, you have to be really fucking good just to be efficient. In my opinion, it becomes this line of not being practical. So, is this too much of a nerf? Well, or sorry, of a buff? Well, I don't think so. Like, this is just sort of my initial opinions of playing against him and a little bit with him in the PTR. My initial thoughts are no, I think this is actually a really good spot for Hanzo. Now, they did increase the hitboxes for projectile-based weapons, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as what it was like 2 patches ago when it was really big. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. But in my opinion, just like Hanzo on paper, just his changes, I think they're good. But some of you guys are probably like, Candy, what are you talking about? Hanzo's OP as hell. Well, you know, just let me know down in the comments and at least back it up why you think Hanzo's OP now. I don't know. For me, I think if anything, at worst, I think they could adjust the numbers a little bit, but I think the direction of where they're taking Hanzo's changes are good, like increasing the speed of the arrows and his movement speed. So that's just my opinion. Now Genji is a tricky one. Now they pretty much quadruple nerfed him with his Dragon Blade duration is now shorter. His melee combo cannot be performed anymore because the Swift Strike does not cancel melee. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, the triple wall jump, as well as how Genji can't do nearly as much to Junkrat's trap, as well as the Venom Mine. He can't damage either of those, and he'll actually get stuck by the trap during his Swift Strike. So the last change, in my opinion, is just kind of like needed. Like, I don't think there's much controversy behind that last one, but let's talk about the other 3. So let's start with the Dragon Blade, shall we? So Dragon Blade was a team wiping ability. It was one of those ults that was just amazing at killing lots and lots of people. So I'm happy that it was nerfed from 8 seconds down to 6, because I think that was the one point that a lot of people were having a problem with Genji, was his ultimate. His ultimate was ridiculously powerful, but now you really have to prioritize your targets a lot more. I mean, you only have 6 seconds to work with here, guys, so you really have to focus down on just low HP or support heroes. So I think this is a good change. Like, quite honestly, I think this is a great change because it really cuts down on Genji's sort of kill time, right? His window of his amazing just slaughtering everyone down to only 6 seconds. So he really, like, the good Genjis will still do fine. Like, they just have to pick their targets way better. They're not decreasing the damage. They're not really decreasing, like, you know, his kill potential, just how long he can go on this rampage for. So in my opinion, this is a great change. Now the other two are a little more iffy. Like the wall triple jump thing, in my opinion, makes him feel a little bit more clunky. But I will mention though that you can still jump out of a wall climb. Like you just can't double jump into a wall climb into a jump. You can only single jump wall climb into a jump, if that makes sense. So that maneuver is still there. You just can't do that double jump beforehand. Now a lot of pros are complaining about this because it really cuts down on the mobility. And that was one of the points. Another point that people were complaining about with Genji was he was too mobile. So now people are saying now he's too not mobile. And the other one was with the melee and swift strike combo, right? You can no longer do that combo because the swift strike does not cancel the melee animation. In my opinion, this is the worst one because that dishing out fast burst damage was what Genji was all about to me. Like, if you take a look at his base design, right, with the shurikens only, he doesn't do that much damage straight up. He gets his damage from his combo, right? His fan, the melee into swift strike. That was his form of burst damage, and now they've kind of taken that away. And I kind of am wondering, like, why would anyone want to pick Genji over Tracer at this point? You know, without that burst damage, now you are left to just farm up your ultimate with your shurikens and just go in for the 6 seconds of Dragon Blade. I don't know, guys. In my opinion, the reason why people love Genji so much, or at least why I like Genji so much, is because he had so many different options to work with, right? Like, if you take a look at all of his abilities by themselves in isolation, you could say they're a little boring or underwhelming or whatnot. But if you put them all together as he is, like, he becomes this hero with so many options, with so much potential, and that's why I think a lot of people like this character. That's why he's so powerful. But now they've kind of taken that away from him, which is basically removing control from the player, and I feel like most players don't like when control is taken away from them. And that kind of reasoning is also getting into the triple jump removal. That's why so many people don't like it. Personally, for me, I can work around it just because, like, I know you can jump after a wall climb, but I know these sort of small nuances are really important to higher level players better than me. So I can conceivably understand, you know, why they would want this reverted back to how it is on live. In either case, I feel like Blizzard isn't going to move all 4 of these changes from PTR to live for Genji. I can't see them doing this just because of how much of an outcry there is. I'll be very, very surprised if they do. But anyways, that was just sort of my rant on the Shimada brothers, where they are at now, what my thoughts are on them. Not really a rant, I guess, just more of a ramble. Hanzo's fine, Genji is... Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I know you guys left a lot of comments in my previous patch notes video, almost 1,000 comments now, which tells me that this is definitely a topic that you guys feel strongly about. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of my opinions. Am I on the mark on this one? Am I off the mark on this one? And I guess until next time, guys, I'll see you around.